What is going on, y'all? We're back with another video. This time today, we're going to be looking at what your favorite UFC fighter says about you. Disclaimer, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, okay? Guys, this is all for fun. I don't want anybody in the comments getting offended because, I hurt their feelings talking about their favorite fighter. If it hurts your feelings, man, then it's probably true. But we're about to get into this, guys. Some of these fighters I genuinely like, and I don't like their fans. Some of the fighters maybe I don't even like at all, but we're about to get into it. Starting off first, if your favorite fighter is Alexander the Great Volkanovski, my sweet Pookie Princess, if you know, you know, then I genuinely love you. Like, seriously. If Volkanovski is your favorite fighter, I love you. I really do. If Alexander Volkanovski is your favorite fighter, man, you are goated. You're a true hardcore fan of the sport, bro. Because this is the best choice right now. If I started watching MMA like 2-ish years ago, I can almost guarantee you that Alexander Volkanovski would be my favorite fighter. But unfortunately, me and Israel Adesanya have a bond. We're tight. We're like this. We're locked in for real. But Volkanovski is definitely in my top five. I love seeing him win the belt against Diego Lopez. And Diego Lopez, another fighter which I love. But Volkanovski, man, he just hits different. Now, Prime Volkanovski was a different man. This man was a different beast. He was a different animal. This man was going on a tear. Going into the first Islam fight, Volkanovski was on top of the world. He was the pound for pound king at the time and took Islam Makhachev the distance and gave him his hardest fight of his career. Alexander Volkanovski inspires generation after generation, guys. This man used to have hair. Some of y'all might not know that, man. This man back in the day, he has some hair. He let it go at the right time. He wasn't holding on to it. This man let it go. He pulls off the baldness. That's a trend I'm seeing, guys. Going bald is a true power move in sports. Look at Volkanovski and look at Michael Jordan. But besides Volkanovski just looking so good, this man fights so good as well. Volkanovski is one of the most well-rounded fighters we've ever seen in UFC history. And this man went and got knocked out by Tapora, which I saw it online. I don't even believe it was real, to be honest. Somebody made an AI video of him getting knocked out by Taporia. And then the same thing with Islam. We saw the fight with Islam, bro. He nearly beat him. He's not getting KO'd. But anyway, I saw two videos of that on the internet, and it inspired me. I guess it inspired Volkanovski as well because he went in there and reclaimed his title at 36 years old and then gave a beautiful post-fight speech, bro. Adversity is a privilege. This man was speaking from the heart. He was speaking directly to me. I'm surprised he didn't shout out Casual Take. I'm pretty sure he did shout out Casual Take, but for whatever reason, me and ESPN don't get along. Me and Dana don't get along, so he blurred it out. But if Volkanovski is your favorite fighter, bro, genuinely, I respect you, bro. Let's keep it moving. Next up, Charles do Bronx Oliveira. One of my favorite fighters as well, but if Charles Oliveira is your favorite fighter, you're either a true hardcore fan who loves mixed martial arts or you're a little kid. Charles Oliveira, the story is phenomenal. This man used to be, he was a kid in the UFC when he came in. He was mid. He was mid at best. He was decent. He had good jiu-jitsu, obviously, wasn't developed into the fighter he is now today. And for that reason, I used to not like Charles Oliveira. When I was a kid, I watched him fight Max Holloway and just thought that he was a guy that just gives up, which he was. But fast forward, this man wins the title, beats Justin Gaethje, beats Michael Chandler, beats Dustin Poirier, and genuinely becomes the most entertaining fighter on the planet. And that's the thing with Charles Oliveira. If you like Charles Oliveira because of the story, then you're goated. If you like Charles Oliveira because everybody else does, I'm not going to lie, this man has one of the worst fan bases in all of sports. Now, Charles Oliveira fans always rally together, but they can be delusional at times, okay? Now, myself maybe included since I'm, sort of made a video on how he beats Ilia Tapora, but that's besides the point, man. Charles Oliveira, very inspirational, very fun to watch, always dangerous, but man, every third swipe on my TikTok is an edit of Charles Oliveira. But when I think of Charles Oliveira, there's really three reasons why I like him, okay? He's a good looking guy, first of all. Next up, he's good looking. And then thirdly, this man's handsome. So Charles Oliveira, if you're a Charles do Bronx fan, bro, I respect you. But let's just not go overboard, bro, because there's some running theme with these Brazilian fighters, which you'll see with the next fighter as well. But there's some themes that everybody loves them, everybody falls in love with them. They're great fighters. but they get overglazed and then their fans become annoying. But moving on to the next one, this is who I'm talking about, Alex Poatan Pereira. Very, very, very similar to Charles Oliveira, except Poatan fans are worse. Genuinely, I don't think I could name to you one Alex Pereira fan that I know that is not a little kid. Now, of course, everybody loves Charles Oliveira. Everybody loves Alex Pereira as well. But if Poatan is your favorite fighter in the UFC, I'm sorry, but dude, you're a teenager at most. And there's nothing wrong with liking Pereira. That's not what I'm saying. I like Pereira as well. But again, so many edits were being made of this man. You know, he goes through a scandal, which I'm not trying to turn feminist here, but this man goes through a scandal. His fan base just erupts, just chama, chama. And again, I thought it was funny, to be honest. But the thing about the Poatan fans is, where did they go? Because when this man fought Ankalaev, Poatan was at his peak, okay? And after the fight, I have not seen one Pereira edit. I have not seen people saying Chama. What happened, bro? If you're going to back your guy, go ahead and back your guy to the end. That's how I feel about it. Kind of the same thing with the Pereira fans that started coming out of nowhere with the Izzy rivalry, okay? The Pereira fans started coming about. And then after Izzy knocked him out in the second fight, everybody went quiet. And then fast forward, Pereira beats Jan Blachowicz. Then he's fighting for the title again. Boom, here come the Poatan fans again. I think it's kind of funny. Obviously, I like Pereira. I like Pereira and Izzy, guys. I'm not just saying this because I'm an Izzy fan. But you got to keep that same energy, bro. You got to back your fighter all the way to the end. That's how I feel about it. Obviously, I'm probably over-exaggerating it, but let's keep it rolling. Islam Makhachev, the pound-for-pound king. If Islam Makhachev is your favorite fighter, you're either one of two, okay? Either you're a really chill, hardcore MMA fan, or the second option, which I tend to see a lot of, is you originally were a Khabib fan. Maybe you're Russian, maybe you're Muslim, I'm not sure. But you originally were a Khabib fan. Khabib retired. You morphed into an Islam hardcore fan. Now, again, nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I like you backing your guy. That's fine if you back your fellow Muslim as well. But man, the Khabib fans also came out of the woodworks when the Conor fight was happening. And then every Khabib fan has just reincarnated into Islam Makhachev fans. And again, that's fine. Islam Makhachev is probably one of my 3 favorite fighters in the UFC right now. I think he's also probably the funniest fighter in the UFC, along with one of the most entertaining fighters. It's fine to like Islam as your favorite fighter. Again, he's the best fighter in the world right now. But man, the Dagestani dudes, bro. They just, I mean, that's okay. Look, I'm all about riding for your guy, you know, backing your country fighter. But dude, the people of Dagestan, they can be annoying, bro. And I don't know if it's the fans actually from Dagestan or if there's just fans from the surrounding areas that just back all of these fighters, but it gets annoying, bro. I just hear smash. It's the same thing with Ankalaev. You were not seeing Ankalaev fans anywhere until he won the title. Same thing with Umar. Look, I like Umar. I like these fighters that I'm talking about. But Umar fans, when he was fighting for the title, they were coming out everywhere saying it was easy money for Merab, myself included. I thought Umar was going to beat Merab as well. He did not. But again, maybe it's because he's hurt. Maybe I'm overreacting. I probably definitely am. But I don't hear any noise about Umar anymore. But that's how I feel about Islam. Obviously, Islam's one of my favorite fighters. But let's keep it rolling. If you still claim Conor McGregor as your favorite fighter in the Big 2-5, we need to talk. I'm just going to say this, bro. Just give it up. There's potential that he returns, but again, not looking likely right now. This man's running for president of Ireland. This man's at the White House meeting with Donald Trump. This man's worried about his Proper 12, his BKFC, whatever he's doing, everything possibly besides fighting in the octagon. But if you still claim Conor McGregor as your favorite fighter when somebody asks, just pack it up, gang. Just give it up. Why are you still holding on? You cannot tell me if you're a McGregor fan, if you still say that, yeah, Conor McGregor's my favorite fighter. You have not felt joy and happiness since 2016. And again, I'm obviously over-exaggerating. I love Conor McGregor as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like a hardcore fan, man. Conor sucks, man. Conor sucks. That's not what I'm doing, bro. We're having fun. If Conor McGregor is still your favorite fighter, bro, it's like an old ex you still have not moved on from. And again, I hope McGregor does come back to the UFC and make his return. Honestly, I would be happy. I know this is a complete stretch, never going to happen. Except for the Conor fans watching this, definitely think it's going to happen. But if McGregor comes back, bro, The best thing for the UFC would be McGregor to win a couple fights and go on a title run once again. Imagine Conor McGregor with the title in the Big 2-5. The UFC would explode. We'd be so back. But like I said, stop holding on to the past. That's less than a 1% chance. But let's keep it moving on to Sugar Shawn O'Malley, who fights this weekend against Merab Dvalishvili. Again, I like Shawn O'Malley, but if he is your favorite fighter, there's no chance you're over 12 years old. There is absolutely no chance. Shawn O'Malley, he's a great fighter, very entertaining, but this man's whole persona is about smoking weed, bro. If you genuinely think Shawn O'Malley is your favorite fighter, either you're a hipster, you know, maybe you love smoking weed, maybe you're a vape god in middle school, but Shawn O'Malley, bro, it's okay to like him, but your favorite fighter? When there's guys like Alexander Volkanovski, when there's guys like Yuri Prohaska, when there's guys like my boy Izzy, I'm partially playing. I'm playing. But Shawn O'Malley, I hope that he beats Merab Dvalishvili this weekend. But yeah, dude, if you're a Shawn O'Malley fan, or scratch that, if Shawn O'Malley is your favorite fighter, you're either a vape god, you love smoking weed, you're under 12 years old, or maybe you're just a frat guy that doesn't really watch the UFC. You just watch the Nelk Boys and have seen him collab with the Nelk Boys. Therefore, you put two and two together. O'Malley's my favorite fighter. Obviously, I'm joking, guys. Shawn O'Malley, I love him. But still your favorite fighter in the Big 2-5, man. Let's grow up. Let's keep it rolling, though. Ilia Tapora. I'm going to say this. This is probably going to offend some of you. But if Ilia Tapora is your favorite UFC fighter, then you were probably a former Vulcanowski or Max Holloway fan, and then you witnessed your favorite fighter get knocked out, and then you jump ship onto the Ilia Tapora train. Now, I know for a fact I just described somebody exactly to a T that is watching this video. And that's okay. I know this man converted you. It's like a religion. This man converted you to Taporiaism. But Ilia Tapora, one of the best fighters, has an argument for the best fighter in the world. Obviously wanted to see him fight Islam Makhachev and fight for that. But that's a story for a different day. Ilia Tapora, please don't chin Charles Oliveira, bro. We can't take it. The UFC fans cannot take it because Charles Oliveira fans take up half of the MMA community. If this man genuinely goes out there and puts Charles Oliveira unconscious, mark my words, bro, there will be riots on the street right outside of the UFC Apex. But Ilia Tapora, if he's your favorite fighter, bro, maybe you're a little bit horny, to be honest. Ilia Tapora is like the perfect specimen, bro, honestly. Great fighter. He's got power. He's a good-looking dude. He's got a nice girl. He's got a kid. Come on, bro. At this point, you're glazing, bro. I'm not the one glazing. You're the one glazing if he's your favorite fighter. But Ilia Tapora, the Spanish Ross Geller, the stalker. Let's keep it rolling. Guys, let me take a deep breath. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but if you claim any women's fighter as your favorite UFC fighter, I don't trust you. I genuinely do not like you either. Unless you're a woman yourself, that's okay. But if you're a man, who's straight by the way, and claiming a woman's fighter, you know, Chris Cyborg, Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena as your favorite MMA fighter, we need to have a long talk. There's just no way. Either you're lying to yourself, you're trying to flex that knowledge to the UFC huzz, trying to pull some baddie with that, bro. It's not going to work. It is not working. Or if you claim Tracy Cortez as your favorite fighter, or Macy Barber, who just had a seizure the other night. I hope she's doing well. But if you're claiming one of those as your favorite, we all know why. And you're not slick, buddy. But if any women's fighter is your favorite and you are a male in the Big 2-5, I hate you. Come on, guys. Stop acting like a true hardcore for liking women's MMA. It's okay. This is a safe space. It sucks. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Obviously, I'm just having fun. These are jokes. Every joke has a little bit of truth to it, though. But y'all let me know in the comments if you want a part 2. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you disagree with. And be sure to hit that bell. Turn the post notifications on because you do not want to miss a live stream. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And we out.